Nigeria's population said to have reached about 167 million people in 2012. The National Population Commission states about half of the population is made up of youths, defined as individuals between 15 and 34 years of age. Unfortunately, as the youth population grows, so does the unemployment rate. In fact, unemployed youth numbered about 11.1 million in 2012. Here we employ a number of trends in youth unemployment in Nigeria and discuss various government programs attempting to address the problem. Welcome to the show. I am Kaliobi, and we'll be discussing unemployment and the role of the youth in affecting change. But before we go into the show proper, let's go on this break. You'll stay here with us. Welcome back from that break, and you're still on People's Voice with me, Kali. And today on the program, I have the special guest with me, Mr. Ogundeyi Damilola. I had an issue with that. Yeah. So how you doing?
I'm fine.
So let's go into what you do for a living.
Wow. So, yeah, I am an OAP.
Okay.
And I'm also a filmmaker. Let me just leave it that way. OAP and also a filmmaker. So
do we need to go to the movies or the films you've produced and how it has been?
Oh, okay. As an OAP, I'm a TV and a radio presenter.
Okay.
I have a couple of programs on here to both radio and TV. As a filmmaker also, I've produced these, like, let's say, a couple of movies also. The Secret Trapeze, that was my first movie, the year 2015. The Secret Trapeze. Then also I produced Judas too. That was last 2 years also. Okay. So I've worked with people too on their own production also.
Wow, that's good. And so in all you do, looking at the high population of the youth in the country, do you think enough is done by the government to solve the issue of unemployment?
Well, to me, I would say in my own field, let's say they're trying.
Okay.
They're trying. I'll just in my own field, I would say they're trying, because it's just like I can remember that year like that, or 1 year like that the government, let's say during the era of Jonathan.
Okay.
Jonathan gave the filmmakers a lot of upper hands in the industry, then even allocating some money to them. But let's say this our say Baba time, everything changed. Everything changed. That is when, that's what we call continuity of the past governor, of past government and the present. Exactly. So there's no that continuity. Maybe because we haven't seen someone who is going to, like, let's say just come out and fight for that. Because there's a word then, I think, say Baba. I'm just using say Baba. I think for all youth, you understand when you mention say Baba. I think say Baba said something, lazy youth. Okay, let us bring in that lazy youth now. Lazy youth, does that mean we are lazy, as he has said? No, but because we ourselves, we haven't come out like in that aspect of what we do. Everybody wants to go to school. Everybody wants to go to school. If you even ask the one that doesn't even have the means to go to school, I won't go to school, I won't go to school. Everybody wants to go to school. But we have forgotten this aspect of skills acquisition. Because when you have that, it covers us a lot. When I was serving, I served in Lagos, but I camped at Benue State. During the camping and all, we did something called Said. That is entrepreneurial. If we want to go into shoemaking, so I thought they are going to fix us in all those areas that we went for during our camp. But fortunately, we almost half of everybody, being posted to be a teacher. We are all teaching, but to them they believe in giving back. to the organization, giving back, like what you've been taught in school. Now you're giving back to the upcoming ones. So I was saying like, okay, the government in that part, the government are not doing what is called continuity.
Okay,
What they're bringing in.
I've been listening to what you've been saying, and the part of the lazy Nigerian youth. Don't you think the youth are making the government think they're lazy? Because if there's a party, you see the youth, they come out. Because I remember, let's go back to 2020.
Okay.
I don't know why I have to bring this up.
A lot of things happened then.
Yeah, and the music was what some of the youths were going there for. Music, dance, and other things. I even want to include the dating part because some people met their. You get. So, are you not sure it's the youth that is giving the government the power to say they are lazy?
Yeah.
They are lazy.
Wow.
Yes, because there's some outplay of the youth that gives that kind of impression that the youth are not ready to work. They just want to have fun.
Well, are you saying the NSAS, because that was what
no, I just brought that's like a scenario I brought in.
I understand, but are you saying I'm just asking this question now, like, are you saying the NSAS like is just like in a fun way?
No, I'm not saying it. Okay, I'm not. It's not my word. It's what's said and what the comments and everything. If we remember, we say, okay, there are so many unemployed youth and everything, and we said everybody needs to come out and fight. And during the NSAS, we saw a whole lot of youth, morning, afternoon, night. They were on the streets fighting, and we still say we're not lazy, and we're fighting saying the government is not giving us work. And during last year, all through October to what month? All through the day, like a week, the youth were on the streets. So who will you say have a job? If we have millions or thousands of the youth on the streets during last year on the streets, saying they're protesting and everything. So are we going to blame the government for the youth not being unemployed? Or are we going to blame the youth? Because I don't know if you understand why I'm throwing this question at you.
Okay. So during those times like that, let's say I'm also I'm also a victim there, because I was working at Lekki Phase 1. Okay. So, and I stay at Oniru Estate then. Okay. What we are doing, they are all doing this NSAS of a thing. Fine. It's just like telling the government, speaking of our heart, our mind, and those people there, if we are all saying, okay, it's because they don't have job, that's the reason why they are there. Fine, I would say if they created what is called job opportunities for us, is it possible for us to be there?
But if we have to start breaking into
that is one, and two, we are saying okay, NSAS, maybe the way we did it like that. Everybody should all know, or everybody knows that when we are talking about future of any country, it is the youth. But in the case that you see the government so much am I going to put it out, so much in glue with the older ones. They believe there's a circle when they sit, when they are okay, they don't even care about the youth. That happens to be the high. Okay, media, we say media is the voice, is the high of the people. Okay. The same way, it's not all about media being the voice or being the highs of the people. It is the youth. We are the voice. But when you are not giving us what is called a listening here, why wouldn't you say we are lazy? Now, everybody there has one or two things that they are all doing, but their voice being raised, it is not being heard.
Okay, if we have to dwell on that, you know, at times remember when the vice president came out and said the youth need to get involved in politics, and I think are we not saying the youth are not getting involved in it? That's why they feel that job opportunities are not open for them.
See, all the youth to come into politics, all those money you are saying. Me, I see it as I don't want to use a camouflage.
Oh, really?
Because this is it. In Nigeria, we are still ruling based on the am I going to put the elderly factor? Just like the elders are still the one ruling us. Oh, in Yoruba, we talk about some like there's an idea that you say shut up, like benuson or what the elders can see that can see there what
okay, what the elders can see sitting down if
you climb the highest mountain as a youth,
you won't see it. Okay.
And it's a lie because things have changed now.
Like you guys will say, you drive,
apart from that,
you fly a drone to see it.
Exactly.
Okay, we're going to start.
We're not in the technology part of the world. So to rule horse, okay, everything is based on population. I can remember I was not there for yesterday. I was on a show like that. We were talking about how technology has improved us in our communication too. And I said something, population matters a lot. Then talking about the rural area, all these let's even talk about the olden days now in the village, right? You have the chief, we have the king. Even if the king want to reach out to everybody, do you know a town crier or the chief bodyguards or whatever can just be going to everybody's houses like that with their staff just to disseminate an information? But can we try it now? The population has changed. You cannot call you cannot call a town meeting for everybody. Okay, let's say in Lagos now, or Sanwo-Olu, our governor now wants to do something and say, okay, want to speak with everybody. That all Lagosians, and even if you are not a Lagosian, but you basically got every one of us to just be at let's say the stadium, like you want to communicate with us. We cannot hear. It cannot control no amount of the security there. It cannot control the population, the masses. So things have changed. Now, if you want to communicate with the horse, if you want to get across to horse, you need horse to get across to horse. So you can't do without horse.
They can do without the youth.
That's just it. But it isn't that we are lazy youth. Who voted for them? Who? Are we not the one? They started like horse. So if we are now saying we are not joining on that word the lazy youth, please, where is the complaint? Where are the industries too that we want to work? Where a graduate with no job? He paid a lot of even getting the job too. When you paid, like, let's say when you were in school, you paid almost 250K in a year, and you spent good 5 years. You are out of school. You're a graduate. Now say a job of 20K. How many months or how many years do you want to work that you're going to gain back all those money that you've spent while in school?
Wow, I really appreciated what you just said. That was a whole lot about the government, the youth, and how they have to come back. Still on people's voice, and I still have so many questions to ask you. So as a young individual, talk to us about your experience in seeking for a job. Because, you mentioned that 5 years in the primary school, 6 years in secondary school, how many years depending on the course you read and in the university. So
now we go back to this word in the Bible is, let there be a difference between you and the people of the world.
Okay. Oh. So who are the word and who are
to them, they believe. Let's say they. I don't know. I'm going to put it in English. They call it mekuno, the mekunos. Okay. So you cannot. That okay? Let me put. I said something like, "Let there be a difference between you and the people of the world," according to what our Christians do say.
Okay.
Well, because they believe we. Let me use. Oh yes. So we don't have connections. That our father is not rich, our mother is not rich, so our parents no even causing nobody to help. They believe we are people of the world. So it is their own family that they are employing. Okay. I said I'm an on-air person. I'm also a filmmaker. I create content. I'm a content creator. Try my years seeking for jobs. You get there and they say, do you know the funny thing? The person that wants to even employ you doesn't even know what you know. But because they are rich, they have the money to set up. Let me just use it that way. They have the money to set up. So you coming there is just like you are just there to just speak phonetic. You just want to come and speak phonetic. Blowing grammars. They know who they want to employ. They have the circle already. You just straighten yourself. Okay, when I finish, okay, I don't want to mention the brand name. When I finish, so someone introduced me to the brand name is at along Ikeja side, and I went there. So I think I saw one of my club members that we both finished together. We started together, and the girl just waving. Wow, Dami, how you doing? I'm fine. Yeah, I saw this girl just doing some. You get trying to park a car. I was like, wow, man, how you doing? I was like, I'm fine. I just got this job not quite long. My uncle called, and he's connected to commissioner, and we just make some calls, and wow, that's great. But me, look at me. I'm here to drop my CV, and I think I was called for an interview, so that's what I'm here. Okay, and then on the next thing she's going to have. What's that? Damn it, do you know anybody here? Normally. I said, not really. A friend just interested. Like, do you have any family, like uncle or? I said, no. Damn, don't stress yourself. They can't employ you. Damn it, don't stress yourself. They can't employ you. This country has done to, if you are not there, I mean, if you're not there, which means if you're not rich, financial buoyant, if you don't know them, if you don't have connections with them.
So that, yeah. But what I think, there's an adage that says, what you believe, you achieve.
What you believe.
What you believe in, you achieve. Because we had stories of how a security once walked into the bank and said, I want to take part in the aptitude test. I'm a graduate, and he got the job in the bank. So we're going to go on a break, because if we're on the unemployment youth in Nigeria, the government had their fault, the youth have both saying who is at fault. We will not go on a break. But now we'll stay here on People's Voice. When we come back,
Unemployment in Nigeria is at 33%, and underemployment, defined as people working between 20 to 29 hours per week, is at 23% for the youth between the ages of 15 to 34. That is about 50% of the Nigerian labor force. Those numbers are 42% and 21% respectively. This number is higher than any other age group in Nigeria. There are many opinions on how to address the structural problems of Nigeria unemployment as well as the economy. With youth unemployment, there are many problems on both the supply and the demand side of the government. A bulk of our labor force will be educated only up to secondary school level for the foreseeable future because of lack to proper access to allow them get proper education that would enable them to be skilled for the labor force. It is important to identify and support industries that will need and increase the demand for unskilled labor in Nigeria.
we're still in the studio, and I'm still with Mr. Damilola. So going into the side, you in the beginning of our discussion, you mentioned the side. Yes, I had to put the side. Okay. So how can the youth enhance themselves in this thing?
Yeah, I think that can come through the help of the government too. Okay, camp. In camp, it is 1 month camp. Let's say 3 weeks camp.
3 weeks.
Then after the 3 weeks camp, everybody they posted you to where you're going to, you complete your service and all. I think instead of government posting the coppers, the youth to some fields, to some area that they are not even fitting. Okay.
I was also a teacher. I taught in the secondary school. Yeah, I did.
Sorry, what do you study normally? No, I'm just trying to say, they just posted people to
different things, yes.
Like that. What government should try and give us what is called continuity on that side, which is now if they want to post someone that did during this 3 weeks camp, let's say someone that did let's say a cobbler, a shoemaker doing you get doing let's say or our own business like that. No, for Said. For Said.
Okay, for Said, yes.
Said, no. Like when they want to post them, government ought to have an industry or a structure that is going to be in that form. That we know that okay, if you want to learn shoemaking. I could remember one year like that. There was a time to the government bring in this technical, we call it technical school. But that technical school, that is where you will see all this food tech. You see all this engineering people too, like mechanical engineering. You see all those people from secondary school. That technical school has been in existence. Government ought to do this thing from, let's say, from our secondary school.
I think you can even walk through the primary to secondary.
Okay, let's say primary. Let's say for primary school now. Let's say from our primary, we ought to move into the secondary school. We ought to be the technical part of it.
Okay.
That's the technical schools. And in all those technical schools, you see all these electrician, you see all these mechanical people, that's mechanical engineering people, you see all this. But is in the traditional part of it, which is the local way, not theory. It is the practical. So government ought to do what is called continuity in that aspect. So from there, even if you want to serve, after doing your 3 weeks camp, they ought to post them back to that field that they did well in camp. You don't get let's say me, I did photography and filmmaking for my 3 weeks camp and for Said. When they want to post it, let's say they posted me at, let's say they posted me to a TV station.
Okay.
A TV station. Fine, I can say I still move in that
you
line because in Said, that's what I did.
Posted to be a teacher.
But imagine someone that did that, and when they want to post the person, they posted the person to be a teacher, or they posted the person to is teaching. They're even doing most. Through that we cannot move forward. So government to just try. This is the government to just try and give us just give us that space to continue the Sahid for 1 year, not posting us to schools.
So thank you so much, Mr. Damilola, for coming in and speaking out on today's discussion. And that is a wrap on the show for today on People's Voice. And remember to be good, and remember, don't forget, your voice is important.